What's going on, YouTube? Well, thank you for joining the channel today, and this is Overland Garage, and you're probably thinking what I'm thinking, and what are we doing in my backyard, and why are we all set up to go camping? Well, had an idea to kind of test out the tent, and it's been a long time since I've been able to get some stuff together, and I kind of wanted to do a kind of like a 1-year review, since I've had it for a little over a year, and I really haven't used it that much, but I want to talk about the things that I have done with it, and just kind of do a little bit of a background on the tent itself. And over here is an awning, but you're gonna have to wait and see the review on that. I'm excited to show you that as well, but I want to say if you're just joining in for the first time, my name is Ben, and this is Overland Garage, and we do a little bit of building and exploring. So the idea is we build something, we take it out, and we use it. So if you haven't already, hit that little button down there that says like, and over here somewhere, over here, wherever it is, hit the little subscribe button. And you might as well ding the little bell while you're at it so you can stay tuned up to date on all the stuff that we're doing at Overland Garage. But without further ado, let's get right into it and talk about the Tepui Ayer 2 rooftop tent. And thanks for watching Overland Garage. So first things first, this is the Tepui Ayer 2. And Tepui actually recently, about a year ago, sold out to Thule. So if you see Thule on the tents now, that's why. They sold their company. They're still made in Switzerland, still an awesome product. And personally, not being a tent snob or anything, but Tepui is pretty much the only rooftop tent I'll go with. I'm just really happy with their build construction, and I've put it personally through 50 below, not 50 below zero, that was a dumb statement. I've personally put it through 50-mile-an-hour winds and 10 below zero, and I can say that I stayed plenty warm and I felt plenty safe. Other than that, this is in desert tan with the olive Rainfly. And this is probably one of the smaller tents. I think they do make one size smaller, but as far as tents go, this is considered a 2 to 3 person tent, 3-person tent if you want to stack people on top of each other. But I got no complaints. It's very comfortable and I'm very happy with it. So the first thing I want to talk about is, what is a rooftop tent? Well, a rooftop tent is a tent that has a solid ruggedized base that is meant to go on a cargo rack or a roof rack. So if you have crossbars on your vehicle, this thing is literally meant to bolt to the crossbars so it can be taken on and off easily, and it is supposed to go on the roof of your car, hence the word rooftop tent. The idea is that you get off the ground and you're up above in the air a little bit, so you don't deal with the moisture that you deal with on the ground, you don't deal with the rocks in your backs and all that stuff. Secondly, the rooftop tent is a great choice for people that want to go across country, overlanders, just the outdoor enthusiast that wants to get out. They don't want to go and buy an RV or rent a cabin. They want to go from spot to spot, and you can literally open this thing. I've opened it in a parking lot. So, you know, like Walmart used to do public parking, I'm pretty sure. You can do an overnight in a Walmart parking lot. This thing is self-contained, so the great thing for me is I wanted to go overlanding, and this tent is great because I can literally open this thing anywhere I'm at, stop. I don't have to rent a hotel. I can just hop in this thing, get a couple hours of sleep, or sleep the whole night, and I'm comfortable. Number 2, I've used this thing in downpouring rain, and it's, I will say, 95% waterproof. But I only say 95% because I made the mistake of Scotch guarding it, and Tepui sends these tents to be 100% waterproof. And if you Scotch guard them, you remove some of the waterproofing. Now it's an easy fix. You just wash the thing a few times and reacclimate it to the weather, and it will actually re-waterproof itself. Every seam in the tent has got waterproofing tape on it, And Tepui takes the extra care to make sure that all their stitching and fabric is heavy duty and it doesn't rip or fade. And this tent is literally 2 years old probably, because I bought it as a floor model and it looks just like it came off the showroom floor. So it's another feature I'm very happy with, and like I said, I would recommend Tepui to anybody. Now, I'm not going to open this thing up again and close it, but I wanted to just kind of talk about the main features. Right over here you have the ladder. This is a real rugged aluminum ladder, and it's telescoping, who knows really. But it's got all these safety locks, and then so you'll fully extend the ladder, and then you grab the safety locks and release them and put this at the desired height that you want it at. And then after that, this thing is locked in place. Now I take the additional step and I use just traditional tent stakes and some cord, just because you never know if you get real high winds and you don't want this thing moving around. But I've noticed that this thing is very stable in high temperatures. This is just an added safety precaution. Next thing I want to talk about is the Rainflies. And you have the main Rainfly, which is this nice olive colored Rainfly that extends over both ends and covers the entire top. And then you have the extensions on the side, and also you have these waterproof covers that cover the screen doors. And you have those interior and exterior. So you have basically a lot of redundancies in this tent, but those are all to protect you against the elements. And then Tepui takes the extra measure to put these little flaps that Velcro down, so you keep even the little mosquitoes out. And every single screen in this has no-seam mesh. So even the little no-seams don't get in. And like I said, I've used this many times. Never had an issue with bugs getting in. And it's very warm. It's actually a little too warm. I've actually had these screens open because it was like hot. But yeah. Another thing Tepui does, and I'm very happy with this, is the cover. I've seen a lot of tent manufacturers make a cover. I think this is some sort of polypropylene or some sort of, it's a real rugged rubber cover, but most of these I've seen, they either rip, they tear, they fade in the sun. But Tepui has done a really good job of making really strong zippers and really good vinyl construction covers that don't fade, they don't tear, and they've protected this tent. Like you see, it looks like brand new because they do such a good job of making sure that the cover protects the tent. Now, I've actually driven this down the road for a very short period of time without the cover on it. Don't recommend it. It was an emergency, pouring rain, had to pack up the truck quickly. But if you have the time, take the time, put the cover on it. It saves the tent, and it's really worth it. So if I were to take the time and put this all away, I would show you that Tepui puts all these little clasps on every single corner and multiple redundancies to put the flaps down. And what's good about that is when you're folding up the tent, if you tie all those down, it folds the tent up, so you don't have to tuck everything in real tight. It literally does it itself. Other manufacturers I've seen, they don't have that, and the problem with that is when you go to put the tent away, it's like this big ball and you got stuff sticking out everywhere and you gotta really work to get it away. But Tepui did it again, and they made a product that over-engineered in the consumer's direction. So I'm very happy that they've taken every single step to make sure that you can literally get this thing out, use it, put it away easily. Because from personal experience, when you're at camp and you need to go, you don't have time to be tucking stuff in and trying to figure out what you gotta do. You just need to get out of there. So once again, Tepui's done a good job of making sure the consumer is taken care of and that they can get the job done in a fast and neat way. Now, as far as the interior goes, we're going to talk about the 8-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, I don't know. It's got a memory foam mattress in it. And I'll say that most tents that you buy, they're pretty uncomfortable, but I could honestly say that this is more comfortable than my own bed in my house. And I've slept in this thing multiple temperatures, multiple locations, and the mattress doesn't fail, it doesn't fade. and it stays clean. It's easy to clean. It comes right out. It's Velcroed down, and you can literally unvelcro it, take it out, clean it, wash the cover. And like I said, I mean, I've used this probably 6 or 7 times, which is not like an overly exhaustive amount of time, but there's quite a bit of space inside the tent. And for a 2-person tent, it definitely gives you enough room in the tent to spread out. It's about 8 feet long, so you have enough, let's say, cargo space to take 2 people, a dog, child, and you're still going to be comfortable and you'll be warm. I mean, there is no doubt about you'll be warm. It's almost too hot, like I said before. But inside, you'll notice that there are multiple screen doors that open up and give you a panoramic view of what's around you. You can take the Rainfly off. You can look out and see the sky. There's screens on the top, and all that stuff is accessible to the outdoors. So if you really wanted to go for it's 100 degrees and you just wanted the most air in, you could do that as well. But overall construction, a lot of space inside, a lot of area to move around and be comfortable. If you're away on an office trip or something and you wanted a tent instead of staying in a hotel, you could literally work out of this tent and be very comfortable. So with that said, I would recommend the comfort level on this would be like a 4 out of 5, hands down. So let's talk about a few things that we've gone over. So overall construction, we're going to do a sliding scale, okay? So 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Overall construction, I'm going to say a 4 only because the hardware on this tent is good. Don't get me wrong, but if it were me putting out something to the consumer, I would want to make sure that everything is high-grade stainless because this thing is going to see different salt environments depending on where you are. Number 2, we're going to say comfort. That's a 4 out of 5, only because I think all of their Tepui tents should come with the luxury mattress that they sell. And they should give you a free set of sheets that fit the mattress. Now, all this stuff is available. It's a little pricey, but it is available through Tepui's website. I recommend buying it. Also, the reason I didn't give it a 5 is I believe that Tepui should put a anti-condensation mat underneath the mattress. Now, the reason that this is important is because when you're sleeping, the moisture still gets up underneath the truck and it gets up underneath the tent, especially when it's raining. All that rain runs down the tent, gathers on the bottom underneath, and that moisture can get inside underneath the mattress. I've only had this experience one time, and it wasn't that bad. It was minimal, but I definitely recommend getting the anti-condensation mat, and that's the only reason it's a 4 instead of a 5. Number 3, durability. I'm going to say 5. I have yet to see an issue with this tent, and it's sat out, gotten rained on, haven't even really cleaned it much. I mean, I've literally just kind of let it dry out and put it away. And I've seen other tents that just don't handle that kind of abuse. So I'm going to say 5 out of 5. Tepui did a great job with all their waterproofing and overall construction and durability and fading and everything. It's just, hands down, best tent I've ever seen. And number 4, would I recommend the Tepui Ayer 2 to my and to the public? Yeah, that's a 5 out of 5 every day. Yes, it's a little bit more money, but it's not the most expensive tent and it's not the cheapest tent. I would say that Tepui is probably somewhere middle to higher end of the road. It's not something like an Easy On, which is like 35, 4 grand. And yeah, that's a great product, but not everybody has 4 grand to spend on a rooftop tent, especially somebody that's getting into the market. So I would say if you want to get into the market and get into a tent, buy a Tepui because it's going to last you for years, and you can pass it on to the next generation, or even down the road in the aftermarket and the seller's market. These things still hold their value because they're such a good quality tent. And then last of all, . What do you guys want to see me do with this tent? Do you want to see more videos of the tent? Do you want me to go a little bit more in depth on a different review video of this tent? And just basic, questions like, what kind of accessories are available, or, what can I not do with the tent? So those would be good things to throw down in the comment section down there. And don't be afraid to reach out and ask some questions, because I've had some experience with it. I'm very happy with it, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So it's been my 1.5, kind of 2-year review. I would say 1 year because I haven't used it a total of a year total. So that's been my 1-year review, and I look forward to getting out there very soon. I've got a trip planned in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to film the whole thing, and we're going to get a little bit more in depth, and you'll see this tent in action. So thank you for watching, and like I said before, don't be afraid to hit that little button down there and hit subscribe, and tell your friends, because Overland Garage is out there, we're growing, and we want to show the world that we can build and explore. So I'm Ben, and thanks for watching Overland Garage.